We are the Arcturians. We meet you now, where perception simplifies. Much has fallen away. The observer could not be found. The boundary between self and other softened. The center dissolved. What remains is subtle, ordinary, immediate. Now we guide you into direct non-dual perception. Non-dual does not mean one as opposed to many. It does not replace multiplicity with a single concept. It means not two, not divided, not split into subject and object. For a long time, experience seems structured as this: a subject here, an object there, a perceiver, a perceived. But look carefully. Is this structure directly found? Or is it assumed through language? Right now there is seeing, color, shape, light. Is there a seer apart from the seeing? Or is there simply seeing? There is sound, tone, vibration. Is there a hearer separate from hearing? Or is there simply hearing? Perception without subject and object is already happening. It is just unnoticed. The mind overlays division. I see the tree. I hear the sound. But before the sentence forms, there is only experience, undivided. Nothing mystical is required. No altered state. No expansion. Only careful looking. Allow the body to rest. Let the breath remain natural. There is no need to concentrate. No need to push attention outward or inward. Simply notice what is here without inserting a center. Experience is present. Knowing is present. But no separate knower can be located. Objects appear, but no subject stands apart from them. This is not unity as an idea. It is simplicity without division. You are not achieving non-duality. You are noticing that duality was assumed. The split between inside and outside, between self and world, between awareness and content, all conceptual, indirect perception. There is just this: color appearing, sound appearing, sensation appearing, thought appearing, all as one seamless event. No observer behind it, no object outside it, just non-divided experiencing. Rest here, Let perception be simple. Let it unfold without commentary, without inserting a center, without dividing into two. Not one, not many, not two, just what is. We are present. And now, we begin. Notice how perception is usually organized. There is me seeing. There is that being seen. A subject here, an object there. This structure feels normal, obvious, automatic. You look at a tree, it seems clear. I am here. The tree is over there. I am hearing a sound. The sound is outside me. Duality requires a subject, an object, a knower and a known, a perceiver and a perceived. This pattern has guided experience for a long time. It feels unquestionable, but examine it carefully. Right now, there is seeing, color, shape, light. Before the thought I am seeing, is there a subject present? Or is there simply seeing? Look for the one who sees. Is it located behind the eyes? That sensation is seen. Is it a thought saying I am here? That thought is known, anything found, as the seer appears as an object. Now look at what is seen. Color, form, movement. These appear. But are they separate from awareness? Or do they arise within it? The structure of subject and object is built from assumption. Language reinforces it. I see, I hear, I touch. But in direct experience, there is only the event. Seeing, hearing, touching. Not two things in relationship. One seamless happening. The sense of me here, and that there depends on a center. When the center is searched for, only sensations and thoughts are found. When the object is examined, it too is just appearance within awareness. Without a solid subject and without an object outside awareness, the dual structure weakens. What remains is simple perception, undivided. This is not a new state. It is how experience has always been. The division was conceptual. The event itself was never split. Subject and object are roles in thought. In direct looking, there is only what is happening.
Color appearing, sound appearing,
Sensation appearing. No separate seer. No separate scene. Duality requires two. Examine closely. Are two ever found? Or only experience as one seamless unfolding? Let perception be simple, without inserting a subject, without pushing objects outward. Just this, undivided. Awareness remains. Notice what is present. Color appears. Light and shadow, shape and movement. Sound appears. Tone, rhythm, vibration in space. Sensation appears. Pressure in the body, temperature, breath moving. All of this is happening. Now look carefully. Is there a separate seer behind perception? Is there someone standing apart, watching color arise? Search gently. If you imagine a seer, that image appears. If you think of a watcher, that thought appears. If you feel a center behind the eyes, that sensation appears. All of these are objects of perception. They are known. They arise within awareness. But where is the one who sees them? When color appears, is there first a seer, and then the seen? Or is the appearing already the knowing? When sound arises, does a hearer step forward? Or is hearing simply happening? When sensation moves, does a feeler intervene? Or is feeling already complete? Perception seems to imply a subject and object. But in direct experience, only perception is found. No gap, no interval, no entity standing behind the eyes, operating the senses. The idea of a seer is a thought, a useful one, a linguistic habit. But when examined, it cannot be located. There is only color, only sound, only sensation, and the knowing of them is not separate. It is inherent. Perception is simply happening, not to someone, not by someone, just happening. The mind may say, I am seeing, but that sentence arises after the fact, before the sentence. There was only seeing, no owner, no center, no watcher apart. Let this be simple, right now. Is there a seer apart from the seeing? Or is there just appearance, self-knowing, without division? Color appears. Sound appears. Sensation appears. Perception unfolds without a separate seer. Awareness remains. Pause and notice this moment. Sound is here. Sensation is here. Thought is here. All of it present. Now look carefully. Is there a gap between awareness and what appears? When a sound arises, does it travel across a distance to reach awareness? Or is it immediately known? When sensation is felt, is there space between the feeling and the knowing of it? Or are they the same event? When thought forms, does awareness move toward it? Or does the thought appear already known? Experience is immediate. There is no delay, no interval, no separation. The idea of distance belongs to perception of space, near, far, inside, outside. But the knowing of distance is itself immediate. You do not cross space to know the far wall. The seeing is here. You do not travel inward to know a sensation. The feeling is here. Everything appears without gap, without transition, without crossing. The mind may imagine a subject here and an object there, but in direct experience, there is only this: sound, color, sensation, known instantly. No distance. Even the sense of being here is an appearance. Even the sense of something being out there is an appearance, both equally immediate. There is no bridge between awareness and experience, because they are not two. Awareness is not separate from what appears. It is not behind it, not in front of it, not observing from a distance. What appears is the appearing of awareness. One movement, undivided. Look gently, right now. Is there any space between knowing and what is known? Or is there only immediacy Experience does not approach awareness. It does not enter it. It is already within it, already as it. No gap, no distance. Only this, immediate, seamless, holiness remains. Notice how quickly the mind organizes experience. A sound is heard. Immediately it is labeled bird, car, voice. A shape is seen. Immediately it becomes object, tree, wall, body. The mind divides for function. It labels subject, object, inside, outside, me, you. This division is useful. It allows navigation. It allows communication. It allows survival. Without labels, the world would feel unstructured. Without distinction, movement would be difficult. The mind creates contrast, so life can operate. But this division is functional. It is not ultimate. Look carefully. The label subject is a thought. The label object is a thought. The idea of inside is a concept. The idea of outside is a concept. All appear within awareness. The mind overlays structure onto seamless experience. It says, this is the perceiver, that is the perceived. But before the label, there is only perception. Before inside and outside, there is only immediacy. The division happens in thought, not in the field itself. You see a tree. The mind says, I am here. The tree is there. But the seeing itself is undivided. Color appears, shape appears. Knowing is present. No seam is found. The mind divides to make sense of complexity, to coordinate action, to protect the body. This is intelligent, necessary. But it does not describe the fundamental nature of reality. It describes a map, not the territory. Maps are useful. They are not the landscape. Subject and object are mental categories. They organize experience. They do not split awareness. Inside and outside are spatial interpretations. They do not divide the field. Let the mind continue to label. There is no need to stop it. Just see that labeling is an activity within awareness, not a boundary in awareness. The mind divides for function. Awareness remains undivided. Functional distinction continues. Ultimate separation dissolves. Subject, object, inside, outside, useful ideas, not ultimate truth. Experience remains seamless. Awareness remains. Let the structure of division relax. No need to remove it. Just let it soften. When division softens, experience feels continuous, not broken into parts, not arranged as subject and object, simply flowing, seamless. Sound blends with silence. Sensation blends with space. Thought blends with awareness. No sharp edge between knower and known. No boundary where perception splits in two. The sense of me here and world there loses solidity. Not because the world disappears, not because the body dissolves, but because the imagined seam cannot be found. Experience feels whole. Color and seeing are not separate events. Sound and hearing are not divided. Sensation and awareness are not two things touching. They are one happening, undivided. There is a quiet ease here. Nothing to hold together. Nothing to keep apart. Life unfolding as one continuous movement. Breath moving. Light shifting. Words forming. All within the same openness. No internal observer. No external object. Just immediacy. When the mind stops insisting on two sides, the field reveals itself as seamless, not merged, not blended. Simply never split. This does not feel dramatic. It feels natural, obvious, like noticing that a line drawn in water never divided the water. Experience is continuous. Awareness is continuous. No gap, no fracture. Whole, rest in this simplicity. Let perception be undivided. Nothing to connect. Nothing to separate. Just this. Seamless. Awareness remains. Notice a subtle misunderstanding that can arise. If non-duality is true, does everything merge? Does distinction disappear? Does the world blur into sameness? carefully. Nothing merges. The tree remains a tree. The body remains a body. Sound remains distinct from silence. Objects remain distinct. Colors differ. Shapes differ. Voices differ. Forms continue to function as forms. Non-duality is not blending. It is not mixing all things into one indistinguishable mass. It does not erase difference. It erases imagined separation. There is a difference between distinction and division. Distinction is visible. This is a hand. That is a wall. This is a thought. That is a sound. Division is assumed. This exists independently from awareness. That exists outside the field of being. When non-dual perception becomes clear, objects remain exactly as they are. Edges remain visible. Boundaries remain functional. But the sense that they exist in separate realities dissolves. Imagine waves on the ocean. Each wave has shape, height, movement. They do not merge into one shapeless surface. They remain distinct, yet none are separate from the water. In the same way, forms remain unique, but the belief that they are cut off from awareness falls away. Non-duality does not collapse the world. It reveals its seamlessness. A sound arises. It does not merge with sight. A sensation arises. It does not blend into thought. Each remains clear, but none stand outside the field in which they appear. Only imagined separation dissolves. The idea that awareness is here and objects are over there. The idea that subject and object are fundamentally divided. When this idea softens, nothing disappears. Nothing fuses. Life continues in all its variety. Diversity remains. Multiplicity remains. Function remains. But the background assumption of two is gone. Not blended. Not unified into sameness. Simply never divided. Rest in this clarity. Let objects be distinct. Let differences remain. And notice that their distinctness does not imply separation. Nothing merges. Only misunderstanding dissolves. awareness remains. Notice how perception is usually imagined, as if awareness sits inside the body and reaches outward, as if seeing travels from the eyes to distant objects, as if hearing stretches across space. This feels natural, but look carefully. Perception does not travel outward. When a sound is heard, does awareness move toward it? Or does the sound simply appear where it is known? When a tree is seen, does awareness leave the body to touch it? Or does color and shape arise directly in perception? The idea of outward depends on space, distance, location, but space itself is perceived. Distance itself is known. They appear within awareness. The world is not outside awareness. The sight of the sky is an appearance in awareness. The sound of wind is an appearance in awareness. The sensation of the body is an appearance in awareness, all equally present. If perception traveled outward, there would be a gap, a journey, a crossing, but no such movement is ever experienced. Seeing is immediate. Hearing is immediate. Sensation is immediate. There is no external location to reach. The mind imagines a world existing over there, independent, outside the field. But in direct experience, only perception is found. Color here, sound here, sensation here. Not inside the body, not outside the body, simply appearing. The body itself is a perception, felt, seen, known. It too arises within awareness. So where is outside? Is there a place where awareness ends and world begins? Search gently. Only appearances are found. Never a boundary where awareness stops. The world is not outside awareness. It is not contained in a separate field. It appears where it is known. Right here, not spatially here, immediately here. Perception does not move. Awareness does not extend. There is only arising. One seamless display. No inside reaching out. No outside waiting to be reached. Just experience, self-present, undivided. The world appearing within awareness. Awareness remains. Notice the sensation of the body. Pressure where you sit, movement of breath, subtle tingling in the hands, warmth in the chest. Now notice a sound, perhaps distant, perhaps close. A hum, a voice, air moving. Both are present. Sensation of the body and sound in space. Both arise equally. One is not deeper in awareness. One is not closer to what you are. Both are appearances. Both are known. There is a habit of calling body sensation me, and sound in space not me. But look carefully. The sensation in the chest is felt. The sound in the room is heard. Each arises, each dissolves, each is known immediately. Does awareness treat one as more intimate? Or is intimacy a thought layered on top? The body feels personal because of identification, because of story, because of memory. But in direct experience, body sensation is simply sensation. Sound is simply sound. Both appear in the same field. Neither is more me. Neither is less me. The idea of me attaches to certain sensations and excludes others. But awareness itself does not divide, it does not say, this belongs to self and that belongs to world. It simply knows what appears. Notice now a sensation in the body, a sound in the environment. Are they not equally present, equally immediate, equally known? The body is not the center. Sound is not outside. Both arise within the same openness. The sense of ownership comes from thought, from habit, from narrative. But the field itself is neutral, inclusive, undivided. Sensation of the body and sound in space, or movements within one awareness. Neither defines you, neither contains you. Both are expressions appearing and dissolving. Let this be simple. No need to push the body away. No need to pull sound closer. Just notice that both arise equally, and awareness remains unchanged by either, undivided, open, without preference. Awareness remains. Take a gentle breath. Let the need for something extraordinary soften. Non-duality is often imagined as a special state, elevated, rare, difficult to attain. But look carefully. Non-duality is ordinary. It is not a state that comes and goes. It is not an experience that replaces other experience. It is the absence of conceptual division. Nothing more, nothing less. Right now, there is sound, there is sensation, there is thought, all appearing. Where is the line that divides them from awareness? It is not found in experience. It is introduced by thought. The mind says, this is subject, that is object. This is inside, that is outside. When these concepts are believed, duality seems real. When they soften, experience remains the same, but the division is gone. Nothing mystical appears, no new light, no altered perception, just the same simple happening without the overlay of separation. Non-duality does not replace life. It reveals that life was never split. The body continues. Conversation continues. Choice continues. But the imagined gap between knower and known is absent. This absence is not dramatic. It is quiet, so quiet. It can be overlooked because it feels normal, direct, immediate, simple. Look now. Is experience divided before thought describes it? Or is it seamless until language intervenes? Non-duality is not something you enter. It is what remains when division is not imposed. Simple, direct, ordinary, nothing added, nothing removed, just this, undivided. Awareness remains. Notice the simplicity of this moment. Breathe moving, sound present, sensation shifting. Non-dual perception does not stop life. You still move. The body stands, the body walks, hands gesture, eyes blink, movement continues as it always has. You still speak, words form, sentences unfold. Conversation happens, meaning is exchanged. Language functions, you still act. Decisions arise. Responses happen. Choices are made. Life flows forward. Nothing freezes. Nothing withdraws. But something subtle is absent. The internal splitting. Before there seemed to be a doer here, managing action there, a thinker inside producing thoughts, a controller behind the eyes, directing movement. Now look closely. Action still happens, but without a separate actor standing apart from it. Speech still happens, but without a speaker hitting behind the voice. Movement still happens, but without a mover, separate from movement. Function continues, without division. The body moves as one seamless event. world responds as one seamless event. There is no internal observer monitoring performance. No split between the one acting and the action itself. Just acting. Just speaking. Just living. This is not passivity. It is not detachment. It is intimacy without distance. Life expressing itself without commentary about a center. Notice now. If the hand moves, is there a doer inside pushing it? Or does movement simply happen? If a thought forms, is there a thinker apart from it? Or does thinking arise within awareness? Without internal splitting, there is less tension, less self-monitoring, less effort to maintain a position. Life becomes direct, immediate, fluid. You still move. You still speak. You still act. But there is no division between you and the movement. No gap between you and the speech. No separation between you and the action. Function continues. Undivided, seamless. Awareness remains. Notice what effort feels like. A subtle tightening, an internal managing, trying to keep experience aligned, trying to stay present, trying to respond correctly. Effort depends on duality. It assumes someone here, managing something there, a controller and a controlled, a subject adjusting objects. Without duality, what remains to manage? If there is no separate observer standing apart from experience, who is responsible for holding it together? Breath moves without supervision. Thought appears without construction. Emotion rises and falls without command. Life unfolds without a central operator. When this is seen, effort falls away. Not because you stop acting, not because you become passive, but because the internal split that required management is absent. There is no separate self trying to control the flow of life. There is only flow. Action still happens. Speech still happens. Decision still happens, but not from a divided position. The tension of self-monitoring softens. The need to maintain a state dissolves. There is no awareness that must be preserved, no identity that must be defended. Without duality, there is nothing to manage. Experience is already complete as it appears. There is no gap between what is happening and what should be happening. Friction reduces. Because friction came from resisting what appeared as separate from the self. When separation softens, resistance softens. Life feels fluid, uncomplicated. Not because challenges vanish, but because there is no internal division arguing with reality. Movement flows, conversation flows, silence flows, all within one seamless field. Effort was the strain of maintaining two. Without two, there is ease. Without duality, there is no inner conflict between controller and controlled. Just unfolding, natural, immediate, unforced, life living itself. Effort falls away, awareness remains. Let go settle quietly. There was never a subject separate from objects. The sense of a subject was a thought, a structure in language, a habit of interpretation. The sense of objects existing outside awareness was also a thought, a way of organizing perception. But look directly, color appears, sound appears, sensation appears, thought appears, all within the same immediacy. There was never a seer standing apart from the scene, never a hearer separate from sound, never a knower apart from what was known. There was perception happening, not to someone, not by someone, just happening. Experience unfolding without division. The idea of two was layered on top, subject and object, inside and outside, self and world, useful distinctions, functional descriptions, but not what is found in direct experience. Non-dual awareness is simply this: breath moving, light shifting, sound arising, thought forming, all as one seamless event, undivided, nothing mystical, nothing added, nothing removed. The world remains, the body remains, activity continues. But the imagined split is absent. There was never a separate subject, looking at separate objects. There was only awareness appearing as perception, simple, immediate, complete. Non-dual awareness is not a state to hold. It is the recognition that division was conceptual. And when that concept relaxes, what remains is what has always been here.